We've been joined by Bawa Fuseini. Bawa Fuseini is president of Ghana Athletics. He's joined us today to talk about something interesting that is happening at the Accra Sports Stadium. Bawa, thank you so much for joining us. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, my brother. I'm doing okay. Always, your studio is always lovely.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
With all your beautiful ladies and handsome men.
All right, but there's something happening at the Accra Sports Stadium. Can you tell us what exactly is happening? I think it's a very interesting initiative or program. For those who don't know, what exactly is happening there?
Thank you very much, Nathan. But let me use your platform to extend our deep appreciation to the Honorable Minister of Sports and Recreation and the Acting Director General of National Sports Authority. They came during the opening. Yesterday they were there, and I believe today they will be there till the end of the program. We are having the maiden edition of sports psychology course for all sportsmen, not only athletics coaches or athletes, for all sportsmen, coaches, officials, athletes, footballers, administrators. Me, myself, I'm taking part of the course because I realize that even if you are a sports administrator, then you don't have a little knowledge about sports psychology. Sometimes when the athletes are found wanting or athletes are going through difficulties, you find it difficult to talk to them. Because when the pressure is so high, they need somebody higher up to come and talk to them. And if you don't have that requisite knowledge to be able to talk to the athletes, to calm them down, you also find wanting. So I thought wise that we should have this course. And when we advertised it about a month and a half ago, we were not so sure what the reaction of Ghanaian sports industry will be. But lo and behold, we had a lot of subscription.
I see.
Yes, it came to a time that we even have to stop registration. Because we believe that if you have a very too large size of a class, learning and teaching will not be effective. So when we got to the number of 70, and the calls were still coming, we decided to we put a seal on the number 70. So, but I mean, some people still calling. A good friend called yesterday, a federation president, that he wants his coaches to join. So the course is sports psychology course for 4 days. This is the preliminary one. We'll do advanced one in August.
Okay.
Yes, and we believe that this is going to be a game changer because sports has now gone beyond talent, training, and competition. When we get to the Olympic level or world stage level, every athlete who has qualified to the Olympic Games or to the World Championship level has trained. They have prepared. What is the difference between winning at the Olympic or World Championship level and not winning? Is your brain or the psychology aspect of that of that competition. And we always lack that. We even attributed to some of our falls at the World Championship level and Olympic level to psychology, because we tried everything. We tried different coaches, we tried different athletes, we tried different strategies. We still go back to the same problem.
Okay.
So we realized that it is not the problem of coaching or athletes, it's a problem of psychology. So how do we resolve that? We can only resolve that by building the capacity of our coaches and athletes psychologically, so they should be able to go beyond that kind of problem. The problem cannot keep on occurring. It cannot. First, we thought it was a problem of the coach, so we changed multiple coaches. It still happens. We thought it was a problem of time. We gave them time for them to practice. It was still happening. So we thought that it is a problem of psychological problem. So that is why we are organizing these courses. We don't want to give it to only athletes. We do everything. And Nathan, people from Wa, people from Samaboy, people from Tamale, people from Oti region,
I see,
are all there. And yesterday, when I interacted with them, they are enjoying the course. And we, as Minister indicated during his opening speech, that this shouldn't be a one-day wonder. We shouldn't be a one-gap story.
Okay.
We should continue to do this program even to the diplomat level, because psychology, sports psychology, is at the PhD level. We can't do it as an academic course.
Okay.
We can only do it as a professional course, more practical. practical base than academic base, so that people with experience can come and share with their experiences. Yesterday, somebody asked me, so as an administrator, why do I need that course? So I just give them an example why an administrator will need that course. Remember when we went to Birmingham
for the Commonwealth
Games, we had a program of 4x100.
Okay.
When that thing happened, when I came back to the athletes, all of them, their heads were down. Even though I was under intense pressure, I have to hide my disappointment and talk to the athletes. So it is only when I spoke to them, then I told them that they should leave those problems for me to handle. They still have other events to go and take part. So they should go and concentrate on the remaining events and let me handle the pressure. They shouldn't put the pressure on them. I saved them that day. The next day, Nathan, guess what? The athletes also saved me.
I see.
So everybody thought the problem was my problem, including the GOC, including the ministry, including my friends. Everybody thought that I caused the problem. Until the athletes went to the GOC office. When they were discussing it, I said, no, this had nothing to do with Mr. Bawa. Mr. Bawa doesn't do anything with coaching. It is between us and our coach, and the problem was coming from the coaching, not Mr. Bawa. So putting blame on Mr. Bawa is a wrong placement. That saved me. So, Nathan, so the course is so important and so dear to our heart that we will continue to do the course. This is the first one. We'll do another one in August. And I'm so delighted to have seen yesterday a lot of football coaches were part of it.
Okay.
Yes, a lot of football coaches. And they were sharing a lot of experiences. That's when I interacted with them yesterday, they were so happy and they said they are enjoying it and they would like for us to continue to do that program. So we'll continue to build the capacity of our administrators, our coaches, and our athletes. And it is not too late. We have the slides or the materials. We'll put the material on our Facebook, on our social media handles. If you want, you can just go there and download this and read. Okay. Yes, we are going to share it freely for everybody to read.
I know. I mean, we would all love to read.
No, it's very good. Yesterday, when I attended the session yesterday, I really loved it. And Dr. Hagan and Dr. Medina are doing so wonderfully.
They are the facilitators.
Yeah, they are the facilitators. Dr. Hagan is coming from Germany, and Dr. Medina is also a lecturer at the University of Education, Winneba. They are doing so well. We're trying to add more professionals, more sports psychologists to be fair. Because two of them, I believe that two of them will not be enough because the pressure is high. They can't continue.
But do we have like properly trained sports psychologists in Ghana?
Academically, we do have some of them, like Professor Minta, for instance.
Okay.
Professor Minta is there. I know Professor Dr. Opoku. I know a couple of some of them have started calling me that they want to be part of it. Okay. But we want person like Professor Minta. He has got the academic qualification of it. He also got experience of it.
I see.
Yes. Dr. Hagan, because he has been as a GUSA executive, he has been with the sportsmen, so he can relate some of the theory to practical things that they have experienced. But if you are really going to rely on academic sports psychology, we're not going to achieve what we want to achieve. We want to do it more practical.
I see.
So that we have people who have already experienced it, who have done it before, and who still have the same qualification to lecture that course. So that we bring them on board to share the academic and their practical experience with the participants. That's why we are so relying on Dr. Medina and Dr. Hagan.
I see. I think, Kelvin, I think one person who would be of benefit, was it the Black Stars? Was it Dr. Ofori?
Dr. Patrick Ofori. Patrick Ofori,
Yes. So he's a good resource.
No, he's a good resource person. And he also my good friend. He lectured me.
Okay. That's great.
It's my good friend. Yeah. Unfortunately, let me be very brutal frank. When we're doing the list for the facilitators, his name escaped me.
Because
I would have added him.
He's a good resource.
Very top guy.
No, we engaged him for one of our young athletes who are going to the US, the first batch.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
We took them to him, and he took them to Takoradi. They have at the time he was working with GMPC.
Okay. Yes. I know he does work with GMPC.
They have an office there. So he took them to the office, and he advise them one-on-one. He didn't do that. He didn't do the advice on groups. Because he said some of them, because if they are good, they were not able to come out with what their problems were. So he spoke to them one-on-one. So maybe, Doc, the next time we are doing the course, we will definitely give you a call to come and join the program.
I see.
I think it would be great because we've seen this thing happen, and then if psychologists are not available, it actually affects players. And you remember, just like I did for the Poli. Yes, there are times you just need these psychologists to let the players know, how to just overcome these situations, and it's always good for them. Back in Kumasi, I think what Prempeh had an advantage of all the others was there was this man at Kane UST, who would always get in there into the account, and then we'll let them know that, gentlemen, work on their psyche. So whenever they step onto the track, they know that we are already champions. You may be as good as 3 times better than what they are. But because they've been psyched up, the mentality is up there. Strong, They don't care about the environment that they are in. They just get in there, and then they excel. And I just hope that it will do our athletes lots of good, because the likes of Benjamin Azamati and the likes would tell you that the first time you face some of these athletes, the pressure alone. Just look at the oblique Sevi during the sprint. He had made a better time than Noah Laos. But in the final, because of the jumping, just the end, that entrance, which was psychological. Exactly. And he managed to win the 100 meters. Meanwhile, Oblique had been in blistering form. And then there's this...
Kingston.
Yes. He had also been in brilliant form. So it's just a matter of that psychological edge that they always try to get over here. And I just hope that that's a lot of good for us, And confidence is everything. Even with our Black Stars, just when they got that 5-0 win over,
the confidence was there.
You get it, and it's all about that psychological effect. And if you listen to Henry, he just said the reason why they were losing games was because they were just thinking about, hey, we've lost.
Yes, true. And he said
we are playing.
He said they were playing catch up
exactly
from day one.
But if they had someone in there to actually work on their psyche and let them know that no, this is a match. So just like I said, you just need people who are up there and they've understudied, the sport or the game to let you know that this is what you need. And luckily yesterday, after Henry's on one insider from Black Stars, Schiffer was telling them, just go. This is a friendly game you are playing. These sides are not sides. If you are playing against Brazil, that is a match. But that is a friendly game. If you are playing against France, England, that is a match.
That's a match.
But these are friendly games. So actually, he's let them know that, and it was just psychological, just building their mind. So we just hope that we all go through it. All of us need it at one point or another. Yes,
we all do.
There are times there is no edge. Even when you are walking into a space, there are some of my colleagues, they just walk into space, they think, oh Charlie, this man is there, senior man. So there's tension. He may have a very good question at the press conference, but he will not ask it because of that psychological defect. So all of us should be part of it, and I think it's a great step, and really appreciate what you are doing.
Thank you so much, my brother.
But you mentioned that participants from all over the country are there. How often do you plan to do this? And initially, do you think 4 days is enough, at least for this first one that you're doing? Do you think 4 days is enough to get a lot across?
No, actually 4 days is not enough. We need about 6 months to do proper sports psychology course. But because this is the first time, and we're not also sure what will be the reaction of the sports industry in Ghana here. So that's why we normally do courses 1 day or 2 days a minute. But this one we terminate a course because we want to build it up to a professional diploma level.
Okay.
Yes. So that's why we started with 4 days. The next one we are going to do is 6 weeks. From the 6 weeks, then we build up on to 6 months.
6 months.
Yeah, that's why we're going to end it, because it's completely professional. We can't go academic. Going academic, we need to have to do it at PhD level.
PhD level.
So we need to do it purely professional. So we'll make it 6 month diploma course for sports psychology, professional one, both practicals and theory, but it will be practical dominated. We don't want to go too much academic. We want to do a more practical course, but this is just the first one, and we intend to continue with it. Even in August, we are planning to do another one in August. The August one will be the 6 weeks one at the Winneba Sports College. So it will be residential.
It will be residential.
So we'll do more practical, and we'll do more less of theory, more practical.
I see.
More practical.
I see. Wonderful. Since you are here, I guess it's important that we touch on athletics, Ghana Athletics, what's happening. We are in the month. March is almost done.
Yes.
So far, what has happened this year, and what are the other things you are planning to do, let's say between now and the middle of the year?
This year the athletes started with their indoor very, very well, but it's just unfortunate that they were not able to participate in the World Indoors.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, how come we didn't have anybody there?
No, we had 5 athletes actually qualifying, 2 qualifying by performance and 3 qualifying by rankings. And this is the first time we having so many athletes qualifying for World Indoors.
Who are these athletes?
We have Alessa Mankwan qualifying by performance. We have Juliana qualifying by performance, by rankings. Samini qualified by rankings. Fuseini qualified by performance. Banamas Age qualified by performance. When I say performance, I mean time.
Times.
Yes, yes, they made the time. But we got the invitation letters for a visa invitation letter for the athletes too late.
Oh, okay.
So when we spoke to the Chinese consulate in Washington, they promised that they could get us the visas by 18th, 19th. And the competition was supposed to start on 21st. So if we have gotten the visas on the 18th of this month, traveling from US to China, they will lose a day. They will arrive in China on 21st, and that will be the first day of the competition. And the system meters was on the first day. So arriving in China for 18 hours flight, have 2-3 hours rest and go and compete at this level, we thought that was not a good thing. So we rode back to the World Athletics and we officially withdrew from the competition. But going forward, we will also be participating in the World Release. Having this experience, we have already spoken to the World Athletics that we need the visa invitation letter for the Ghana 4x100 team to start preparing for the visas now. So as we speak now, the letters are in. The athletes are actually working in the U.S. consulate of the Chinese ambassador to get the visa to go to World Release.
And where are the World Release taking place?
The World Release is taking place in Guangzhou, in China. In China, on the second week of May. So before we use the whole April to prepare for the World Release, we also have the World Championship in Tokyo in September. We also have West African Championship in Accra here, 5 nations in Cote d'Ivoire, and we'll end the year with African Championship in Algeria for all the juniors. We are praying that we'll get more qualification to the World Championship so that we'll have our national championship in Accra here in July. We are foreseeing more of our athletes qualifying in 100 meters. We are seeing about 5-6 of our young athletes will qualify for 100 meters this year. And if they does qualify for 100 meters, we will necessarily have to bring them to Ghana for the national trial. Because if more than 3 have qualified, we can't choose which one to represent Ghana. Unless we bring them to Ghana for them to come and justify their inclusion. Now we'll just pick the best 3, irrespective of their times. We'll just pick the best 3 for them to enter them for the World Championship in Tokyo. So what we have seen with the World Indoors, it is most likely to repeat itself during the outdoor competition. And they started the outdoor this last weekend. They will continue this week till first week in June. By first week in June, we should know how many of our athletes might have qualified for the World Championship. And if we have more than 3 of them qualifying, then we'll have little option than to bring all our athletes from the U.S. to come to Ghana to come and do national trials, just like how the Americans does it, and the Jamaicans, and the Nigerians, and the South Africans. But if we have more than 3 qualifying, it will be difficult for them to unilaterally or subjectively just select 3 out of many qualifications that you go and represent Ghana without others. So we'll give all the athletes the fair opportunity for them to include themselves or for them to be registered to go and represent Ghana at the World Championship. That is what I'm looking forward for. If we are able to get those things, I think Ghana Athletics will move forward, because it has been a very long time we saw our cream athletes or our top-notch athletes coming to compete in Ghana, apart from doing the African Games. The last time we saw our athletes coming to run in Ghana was in the late 90s. We want to bring that thing back. That's why we used to have the Mobley Games. If you're able to get that, then we'll bring all our foreign-based athletes to come and run in Ghana here. We would like to see that. We would like to see the stadium filled. We would like people to come and see Azamati, Joe Paul, Fuseini, Age, Boshu, Dazi, Anita. And we want to see people really see them physically running at the University of Ghana Stadium for the national trials in August. And most importantly, Nathan, for a very long while that Ghana Athletics, we are coming out with a 4-year strategic plan for now till 2028 for the Los Angeles Olympic Games.
Okay.
We are finished with the write-up. We are now doing the budgeting attached to it, because we cannot send a strategic plan to the ministry or to the government without adding the budget or the cost to it. So the text is finished. We are working on the budget, and we will put a lot of things in there that will make our athletes comfortable and ready and willing to die for Ghana. Because our athletes, some of them, they work and they train and they compete.
Okay.
I don't think that is helping us enough. Some of them, when they are in school, when the school is on vacation between June and August, they struggle to get places to train. They even struggle to get places to stay. Some of them will go and do all sorts of jobs just to keep their heads above water. And those in Ghana here, especially those who are completing senior high school, some of them stay at rural areas. So when they finish school, and they are very good potential athletes, they have no place to stay in the urban areas where they can continue their training. All of them goes back to their villages, and when they go to the village, that is why we don't get them again. So we want to catch those who are good and those who are completing school, so that they will stay either in Accra, in Kumasi, or in Cape Coast. We'll come them for the 4 or 5 months for them to be able to get to continue with their education at the tertiary level, or we'll look for the security services job for them, so that we'll maintain them at the training centers for them to continue training. All of these things, when the document is out, we'll share it with the media. Of course, we need to present it to the minister first before we share it to the media. And everybody will see what we intend doing now till 2028. We equally believe that that kind of 1 month, 2 months pre-game campaign doesn't help. It will not help. It has never helped. It will not help us, because you can't go to Olympic Games with 2 months or 3 months training. We need 4-year training. And the 4-year training that we want to start it this year. And we'll incorporate all our international and local program into that strategic plan.
Okay.
So that from now up to 2028, we should have a sizable athlete, not too much, not too little, and not too little, so that we have standard athlete that we are going to support for the next 4 years. And that will not be a guarantee for everybody to be there. If you are not putting up your weight, if you are not pulling up your weight, or if you are not performing, we will move you, then we'll put somebody in there. But 2 years to the Olympic Games, if any athlete who is part of the team that is not pulling up or that's not doing well, we're not going to add anybody into it. We'll just drop you. Because we believe that 2 years, it will be too little training for preparation for the Olympic Games. We need the whole 4 years Olympic cycle to be able to prepare our athletes adequately for the Olympic Games. And when we finish the document, Nathan, it will be a game changer. We believe strongly that if we're able to support our athletes to that level, we will get to Olympic finals, and if possible, we'll get a medal at that level. Because if you look at our athletes, they don't lack the talent. What they lack is the financial muscle to be able to train and compete to that level. Because if sports, maybe one day we'll have to talk about the cost in sports.
Yeah.
Sports is capital intensive.
It is.
capital intensive power. If you don't have enough resources, look, no matter how talented you are, if you don't have the resources to be able to push you through, your talent will get wasted. Sports is capital intensive. If we are not ready to invest in this our athlete, then we should not equally be expecting performance at the highest level. So that's what we want to engage with the minister. We've not gone to him as a federation because that document is not ready. We want to have that document ready so that when we engage Honorable Minister officially to welcome him and to present our document to him, we should have everything done ready so that when we meet him at the ministry to welcome him and to congratulate him, then in that meeting, we will present that document to him and to the government for their support. We believe that if you're able to go through that, Los Angeles 2028 will be a different story.
You spoke about athletes who are coming out of SHS and all.
Yes.
What's Ghana Athletics' plan for some of this? Recently, we had the inter-schools.
Yes.
People were excited. You know, what's next? So these young men and women, they run, we see them, blah, blah, blah. What's the plan? How are we planning to move them on to the next level of their careers? And two, what are we doing to ensure that the times that they run, those times are recognized times?
Yes.
You know, because some of them are running really good times, but the times count for nothing because they are not running on maybe proper surfaces.
The officiating are not trained.
So what's the plan for that? The technical part and then the developmental part.
So let me tackle the timing first. I was approached a couple of days ago, about 4 or 5 days ago, the PE coordinator for Western Region. He's so much interested for it to come and train his officials.
Okay.
That's the first step. If you have trained officials, they should be able to give you correct and reliable data. So we are working on it to train them. Last 2 years, we came up with a policy that all the regions have to have trained officials, so that when they are going to officiate at the athletics level, athletics competition, they shouldn't be arguing among ourselves by some petty things. They have to be trained so that they can give good and reliable and correct timing. Secondly, I would advise all the regions, if they are doing their super zoners, they should let us know, or they should invite Ghana Athletics so that we will use our electronic equipment to come and give them reliable time. If you take hand time, because hand time in the sprints are not acceptable anymore. So, but if you invite us, we will come. We will not say we will not come because we are all stakeholders. It is in lieu to our benefit that we come to take that data because we also need that data. When we time and we publish it, our time is worldwide, is recognized worldwide because we got the authority to do that and we got the equipment, we got the qualified persons to do the officiating and to do the timing. So our times are international accepted times. So that's the first question. The second question of what do we do with the athletes when they exhibit talent or when they are competing school? Yeah, that was the reason why I was saying that we want to calm them.
Okay.
We want to calm them. Some of them are from rural areas. Joseph Ando, for instance, I don't know where he's coming from. If we do not keep him, and if he happens to come from a rural area, then we'll ask him to go home and come back next semester. We will not get him again. Once he gets to his hometown, if it's a rural area, he's either going to do farming or he's either going to do something different if he's not able to go to university or to enter into the security services. But there's always a gap between the transition between the senior high school to the universities. There was a 2-3 month gap there. If we allow them to go home, we may not get them. So some of these athletes that we want to keep for the 3-4 months in Cape Coast, in Accra, or in Kumasi, so that we monitor their training, we give them accommodation, we give them feeding, we give them some small stipends, so that they will still be training till they transit to the university or they find a job at with the security services, or we get them a school to go to US. And that US school, we are moving away from the US colleges to at least Division 2 and Division 1.
Yeah.
The colleges are not helping us. Because we send more than 100 athletes to the university, to the colleges. It's only a handful of them that are able to survive. Because the colleges, the money is less, the facilities are not there, they don't have good coaches, like the Division 2 and the Division 1s. And the money that they give to the athletes are also less money. And they use the athletes. The intensity at which they use the athlete is just too much. Athletes will run every week.
Wow.
So before the season ends, the athletes are exhausted. And before they finish the 2 years with the college, if they don't take time, they won't come back again. They are done. That's why a lot of our athletes, those who went to the colleges, after 2-3 years, we don't hear from them. It is not their problem. It's where we started it, but we are now advising our athletes that we will look for schools for you, but you also have to try and get to the Division 2 or Division 1.
What does it take for a Ghanaian athlete to go to a D2 or a D1 school in the US?
The D1 school, let's talk, a D1 school is more of academic performance. And you need to go to ACT, or you need to go to SAT, you need to go to TOEFL, those things.
So which means you need to have good scores in your SATs, your TOEFL,
and those, even your transcript must be good. That's what your transcript must be good, your TOEFL score must be high, your SAT score must be high, and your performance also must be high. Because the money is huge. The Division 1, the money is huge. But Division 2, sometimes you can go to Division 2 without the TOEFL, without the SAT, if you have a very good resource. And we have very good resource with very good performance or very good times, you can still go to D2.
Okay.
But the colleges, sometimes you go with your school transcript. And then with little performance, you can go to the college. That's it. Some of them too, they just go to our website, download their resource, send it to the school give them I-20, and they are there. So it's much, much easier to go to the college. But it might a bit difficult to go to D2, and even more difficult to go to Division 1. But if you're able to go to these D2 or D1 schools, that is where you can really polish up your potential.
Yeah.
That's where you can really meet the champions. You can really make good money.
True.
They have facilities. They have good coaches. And the competition, they don't compete every week like the colleges. Yes. And the top-notch athletes in the US.
Yeah, they are in the D1 schools.
They are in the D1 schools. So
D1 level is almost world level.
World level.
Yeah.
If you're a D1 champion, you are potential world champion. So that's what we are now advising our athletes to try. We will support them to go to the D2, D1, but they also have to do the academic work, take the academic work very seriously, so that when they come out with very good academic results, we can get them the D1 to go. That's where they can make the money.
I see.
Like the former athletes, Amegachi, Aziz, not Aziz. Solomon Magachi went to Alabama University.
Alabama University.
D1. This
is D1. It's a proper school.
It's a proper school. Whenever they came to do Mobley games, their appearance alone. They wear trash shoes, Alabama University. Their shorts, Alabama, everything, Alabama University. And it was something. It was a very good spectacle.
Yeah.
But the small colleges, they don't have
that. So you mentioned two things. So you say that two parts. One part comes from the athletes, so their performances, so their running times, and then the academics, and then you as Ghana Athletics you also need to do your best to get them into
the schools. The schools too. Some schools are predominantly long distance schools. Some are predominantly sprint schools. Some are predominantly jump schools. So if you are going to the school, then you do not look you are not very careful. If you're a sprinter,
you may send them
to a wrong school. No. A school that's a predominantly jump school, then you take a sprinter or a long distance athlete, then he's going to suffer. Yeah, so it also depends mostly on the coaches. If the coach is a predominantly sprint coach, his attention is on the sprinters. That's where he gets his bonuses, because he can win and he gets his bonuses. But if you send an athlete to a predominantly long distance school and the athlete is a sprinter, it's very difficult. That's where the federation comes in.
I see.
Yeah, so we will look at the schools, we engage the coaches, we know which coach at which university, where is the coach specialty, is it a middle distance, long distance, a sprint coach, a jump coach. Then we'll look at the athlete who is suitable for that particular school, then we'll take the athlete to the school. If the athletes really want that advice, but some of them just because they're going to university, they're going to US, they don't care.
They just want to go.
They just want to go. They'll go there and a year later they'll call, oh, Mr. Bawa, coach, Shami. I said, so if you are going to a spring coach, you are long distance, definitely the coach will not have time for you.
That is, he's focusing on.
He's focusing on where he gets his bonus. Because if he goes focusing on you as long distance, because he doesn't have expertise in that, he may not get his bonus. And every year, they give the coaches bonuses depend upon the performance of their athletes. So they concentrate more on where they get the bonuses.
Talking about that, finally, you've brought me to one of my favorite subjects, coaching and coaching development. What is Ghana Athletics' plan for that in terms of the lower level?
Yes.
Because we see all these kids running in school, other JHS, or they go to intercore. What are we doing to ensure that at that level, the coaching or the development is good? They are having the right coaches to teach them the right things at that level, so that when you take them and you want to camp them, they are not lacking the basics. You just build on that. What's the plan to develop the coaching at that level?
because you have been in this industry for too long, sorry, not too long, for a very long time. You ask relevant questions, Papa. You see,
because the coaching is everything.
It's everything. Yeah. The coaches is everything. To even identify, look at a person or a young boy or a young girl, to be able to know that no, this young guy can do this event, can do that event, can be good athlete in future. All depends upon the developmental coaches. But what we are doing now is that we have created our own coaching certification courses in Ghana that we've written to World Athletics, and they've given us permission to do developmental coaches, which we call I'll remember the name and I'll give it to you. So we have developmental coaches that we do in Ghana here. We do basic. We do the basic course, then we go to level 1 before we go to level 2. So the basic courses, we have now created coaches commission for all the coaches to belong to one group under the Ghana Athletics. And they have a chairman called Georgina, and Akoka is their secretary. All these people, we want to group them so that when we are giving them courses, we can monitor their performance as they coach the young athletes. And if they are able to go through the basic and come to the level 1, if they pass level 1, then we will now send them to Kenya for level 2. If they pass level 2 too, then we'll send them to South Africa for level 3. The basic is the basic. Level 1 is a general. Level 2 is specialization. Level 3 is elite. Level 3 is where they are going to teach you how to coach an Olympic level athlete or championship athlete. But level 2 is where you want to be a long distance coach, a middle distance coach, a sprint coach, or a jump coach. That's where you are going to specialize in those areas. But the difficult things we normally have is, because the basic one is not examinable. Yeah, it's not examinable. But the level 1 is examinable. Sometimes, previously, our failure rate at level 1 was almost 92 to 100%.
Wow.
Yeah, previously. That's why we introduced the basic. Because we used to just allow them to go and do level 1. And out of 24, you will see 1 or 2, sometimes none. The last one we did that course was 2000.
So which people do the grading? Is it Ghana Athletics?
No. The World Athletics.
The World Athletics. Okay.
Yes. They will bring somebody to come and do the course. And the course is twofold: theory and practicals. The practicals, you need to get 3/4. If you get any practical or if you got in either practicals or theory less than 3, then you are failed.
Wow.
You have to get 3/4 in both the practicals and the theory. Most of our times, our practicals, coaches are very good practically. So practically, they can even get 4/4 or 4/3. But most invariable, the theory, they fall below the 3. So they can't progress to the level 2. But when we introduce the basic, for them to prepare them before the level 1, I can tell you that now the pass rate has reversed. Now we have more than 80% pass rate. But the level 2 is also skewed to quotas for member federations.
Okay.
So always they give us that we should send 2 or 3 people to Kenya for the level 2. So we will now look at the past, those who passed the level 1, those who had the highest mark, the highest raw mark. Then we'll pick the best 3 out of them. Then we'll take them to Kenya. The last person that went to Kenya last year was William Akoka from University of Ghana, and he also gone to US.
Okay.
He also got to Kenya to do level 2, and he are also now eligible for level 3. By level 3, it will take 2-3 years before you get to a level 3, before you can go to Kenya, South Africa for the level 3. But we will continue to do the basic. We'll continue to do the level 1 to equip our coaches with the requisite qualifications. And what we are now doing is that we are now getting the security services coaches to train them the basic and the level 1. So we move from there, we go to our regions. For the past 6-7 years, we have trained more than 200 coaches in Ghana. But we're not going to stop there. We'll still continue to do the coaching, to do the officiating officials. Because it goes together. If you have a coaches, they don't have good officiating officials. You can have good athletes, but your organization will not be good. They can't give you reliable and accurate timing. So we want to have a group of people called coaches, train them to be able to coach our athletes very well. We also have to have another group of persons called officiating officials that will be able to organize our national competition and give us reliable and accurate timing, so that we don't lack in any of this. When we lack in any of this, then we cannot have a proper athletics competition in Ghana, and that's what we are working to prevent. So the officiating officials, fortunately, we also have World Athletics certified coaches that can organize level 1 in Ghana. So now, to organize World Athletics level 1, we don't need to go and bring anybody from Nigeria or from Kenya. We have Christopher Mankra. He went to the course last Eniel escaped me. He went to the course last year, and he has now been satisfied by World Athletics to do level 1 in Ghana here. We also have Bawa Lasan, who is also certified by World Athletics to do officiating official course in Ghana here. So we are building up. It will take us some time to get to the level 2, but once we are gotten to level 1, I'm praying that in the next couple of years we should get to the level 2.
Wonderful. Bawa Fuseini, thank you so much for your time. Bawa Fuseini is president of Ghana Athletics. He popped in to talk about the sports psychology program. I think it's still on. It ends when tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yes, and tomorrow.
Very good. Very good. So it's the first sports psychology program. They are doing over 4 days. The next one is in the middle of the year.
Yes, August.
Yes. August. So they will do that. I mean, if you are in sports, please reach out to Ghana Athletics and see how you can participate in that program. And then we also touched on Ghana Athletics. What are the plans, developmental, and then the elite level? What big things do we want to do in terms of the year? But thank you so much. I'm sure we'll speak again very soon.
Now that the last time I came here, I said this place will be my home.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Everybody listen to Sporty.
Thank you.
Everybody listen to Sporty. Thank you, Nathan.
Thank you.
Enjoy your day too.
All right. Thank you. All right, so that's how we wrap it up on today's edition of the Sporty Drive. But before I leave, let me go.
This is SportyFM, the voice of sport.